Hey guys, Sam here. For this week's Stadia show, we're going to be talking about 6 new games worth picking up on sale right now, 6 games added to Pro, 3 new games available to purchase, and Daniel will have his own review of Mortal Kombat 11 for Stadia. Yep, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. First, let's talk about some of the new games that are available to purchase on the service that are all under $30. Streets of Rage 4, fantastic sequel to 1, 2, and 3, and it keeps up the same kind of gameplay, while modernizing the graphics, moves, and adding a story. And finally, adding some cool new characters. If you love the first 3, this new one will give you a sense of nostalgia, while still adding a new twist. And at $24.99, oh boy, worth the purchase. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Great game. Reminiscent of the Castlevania Symphony of the Night from back on the original PlayStation. Honestly, unless you want to play it on the big screen, we suggest you pick this one up on the iOS and Android app stores for much cheaper. In fact, Stadia version sells for $39.99 and the App Store version sells for $9.99, and running natively works much better. It's your call, but that's what we advise. Still, Stadia is your only option? Great game, totally worth picking up. Next up, Ys 9, Monstrum Nox. The Ys series has been around for a long time, and it is a solid JRPG series. It's seen quite an evolution over the years, and unfortunately it's never been that popular in the West. But you might have played Ys 8, which was a recent game in the series that saw some pretty decent popularity, but if you've never heard of the series, pretty similar to some games like Xenoblade Chronicles. It has that open world feel, that anime art style, and that real-time action. It's a really fun game series, and the newer games have been truly doing a lot to reinvent the series, so definitely give this one a shot. Alright, let's talk about the games on sale that are worth picking up under $30. First off, we got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's on sale right now for $7.50. You love the Dragon Ball anime series, you'll love this one because the art style is just as good, if not even cleaner looking in the game. This one plays like a fighter, but it's also an open world game. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, now's the perfect time to pick it up. Dragon Quest XI S is an amazing JRPG with great graphics, a fantastic story, lovable characters, and an intriguing turn-based RPG style with a twist. Twist is that you can attack your enemy before they attack you, so you can get a head start. And at $25.99, you just can't beat that price. It's a really good price for such an amazing game. Definitely pick this one up while you can. It is fantastic. And we should mention that Dragon Quest XI S is a special edition of the game that includes all of the special features added to the Nintendo Switch port, such as the 8-bit gameplay style that you can do completely separate from the 3D style, the remixed music tracks, and a lot more. Some new side quests and towns. You're definitely going to want to check that out. Next up is Final Fantasy 15. Yes, the most recent entry in the Final Fantasy mainline series. And if you heard, Final Fantasy 16 was just announced pretty recently for the PlayStation 5. So if you want to get caught up on the series, no, it's not really important to the story, but if you want to see where the series is going, it was definitely a new direction for the series. If you want to see what the most recent style was, you're going to want to pick up Final Fantasy 15. It is a really good game, especially now that there have been many updates that kind of smoothed out the game. It wasn't too hot at launch, but it is fantastic now. You won't regret picking this one up. Got a lot of open world and a lot of really great real-time battles. You're gonna have a good time with this one, and it's only $20 right now. Definitely pick this one up. Madden 21 is the latest version of the renowned football series, and of course, the new one is coming soon and is available for the pre-order of $60. But if you don't mind having the older version with a little bit of an outdated roster, it's only $15 right now. Looks like an awesome deal to jump on. Watch Dogs 2 is a great tech-oriented series that's like a mixture of Grand Theft Auto and a TV show like Mr. Robot. It's a great big open world to discover while you're using the top of the line tech products, and right now it's only $18. Definitely a good price. Marvel Avengers is a game we talked about on the last show as well. Came out to some conflict for its live service style gameplay, but with the recent addition of the Black Panther DLC, it's become a game that some people will want to try out again. It's also one of the only modern Stoa-based takes on the Marvel Universe, and at $23.99, good deal to jump on. Alright, now let's talk about those pro games that we were able to claim this month. Here we go. First up, we got Terraria. Somewhat of a survival adventure game where you'll go through worlds collecting items, building things, and just trying to survive the terrain and anything that tries to attack you. Although it is available on the App Store, if you want to play this one on something other than the iPhone or iPad, Stadia is the way to go. But nothing beats playing the game natively. Moonlighter is another game that is also selling on the mobile App Store for native play. This one is a game that takes a lot from games like Hyper Light Drifter or Bastion. In fact, it has the same art style as Hyper Light Drifter, but brings some differences to the genre. Definitely claim this one as well. It's a classic in the indie gaming world. Street Power Football is an interesting game that brings street soccer to Stadia. It's a fun game that brings an arcade-like approach to the sport. It has some pretty decent graphics with fun gameplay. The only downside being it seems to have a quite lengthy tutorial that's unskippable. The Dark Side Detective is a really good point-and-click adventure game where you play as a detective who's trying to solve crimes. It starts you off trying to find a little girl who's disappeared, as you go into her parents' house and you ask questions as well as pick up clues all through the house. The game is filled with tons of great humor, great writing, and pretty pixel art graphics. Alright guys, that does it for my part of the video. Now, on to Daniel for the review.
I recently purchased Mortal Kombat 11 because it was on sale for $14. So I was like, what? I had been waiting for so long for this one to go on sale, and Stadia finally had it on sale. First, let's start out with the bad so we can end on a positive note. There's not much bad here, to be quite honest. The only thing I got to tell you guys that's negative is in the gameplay. In the sequences that go from cutscene to gameplay, there is a tiny bit of lag. I'm not positive why, but the lag only lasts for a couple seconds, then goes back to normal. Other than that, the game is quite awesome, and we're going to get into that in the what I like section of this review. First of all, the gameplay is absolutely fantastic. Let's start off with the speed at which you get to play the game. The game plays really fast, and I believe from what my eyes can tell that it's at 60 frames per second. When it comes to characters, it's awesome that there are a ton of different characters to play as. The way that each character has their own moveset is really awesome too. By playing the story mode, you get to play as every one of the characters, and you get to see which characters you like more than others. For instance, I personally find out that I like Johnny Cage much more than someone like Sonya Blade, who I kind of feel is much slower and more methodical. It was really cool discovering who you like more. Finishing moves are also easy to pull off now. Instead of pushing a combination of different buttons to do the finishing moves like in the old games, you just press 2 trigger buttons when the power meter tells you. The moves are all kinds of gruesome, but at the exact same time, they're also totally cool because of how real they make them look. The graphics are absolutely beautiful. Each character is intricately created. Each looks different than the other, each with its own costume, facial features, and each very highly detailed. Finishing moves are also not only freaking awesome, but also totally gruesome. So if you're squeamish, it's probably not a good idea to play this one. As a side note, you can totally play this on a touch screen as well, which actually helped me finish this one much quicker. Lastly, the story has a ton of great twists and turns. You get to fight against the younger or older version of your character. Then there's another dimension where you get to fight against an evil version of your character. It's also quite intriguing. I also love that the Stadia version has the Aftermath DLC, so you not only get more of the story, but you also get extra characters along with it as well. All in all, this is the best fighting game out there, not only in Stadia, but in general. It even does a better job than something like Street Fighter, which I also absolutely love. I highly recommend any fan of the fighter genre to pick this one up like right now.
Alright guys, thanks for joining Daniel and I on this latest episode. Let us know which games of these you like the best in the comments below. Or if you're currently playing any of these, let's talk about them. You can always take the conversation one step further on our Discord server. Info will be in the video's description. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like these, and lastly, check out our Twitter account for gameplay of the latest releases. Most importantly, say it with me, always stay one up.